Hi chums, guess what? Cara, and I think this one is going to be a bit poor. This was in a row against the hedge where we haven't had good results so far, so we'll see how it goes, you know. I need spuds for dinner tonight. I gave a whole lot away there because I was just getting too many, you know. So I had a guy in the house the other night, and he just happened to say, "Do you know what I haven't had in years?" He didn't know what I grew potatoes, and sorry, just getting rid of a little slug there. He didn't know what I grew potatoes, and he said, "Do you know what I haven't had in years?" And I said, "What?" He said, "I haven't had a decent, flowery, homegrown potato." And I said, "How many do you want?" He went, "What do you mean, how many do I want?" And I says, "I've got a big bag of them in the drawer there." So I gave them to him, and he was so happy. And I think this is what gardening's all about, really. It's okay growing your own stuff, but the real pleasure comes from giving the stuff away. And if you hand somebody a cabbage and you think you're giving them £1,000, look at this. Walter, control yourself. No boasting at work. Right, so, well, this bag isn't going to be as good as the others. Well, that's not bad, just falling out the side of it, you know. So, no videos this week, folks. I've been sick. Poor Brendan. I haven't really been sick. Do you know what it is? It's like some sort of it's like a thickness in my head. It's just not quite a headache. And I've no problem. Like, all my friends are falling apart with chest complaints, and people have got their runs and coughs and all sorts of horrible stuff going on. But I just got this kind of thick head, and I haven't done much this week. So I think it's maybe more to do with laziness and illness, you know. But what do you call it? So as I say, I wanted to get the septic tank video done. This has been quite a revelation for me, because I had never intended to tell you anything about septic tanks, but when I did that little thing in the last video, people said, "Look, will you tell us about the septic tank, because I've got a septic tank and I need a bit of advice, or I'm about to put a septic tank in and I need some advice." And I thought, right, fair enough, I'll do it, you know. So I'm not going to do a gory open the sewers and look in, you know, not because it's going to be like that. I'm going to do a video about the ownership, the joy of septic tanks. They become a feature in your life, let's put it that way, you know. So just very briefly, if any of you have bought a house or are thinking of buying a house that has a septic tank, the very first thing you do is you measure the distance from the manhole nearest the house to the septic tank, and you go and buy that many meters or yards of sewer rods. You buy a plunger, which is like a rubber disc, and you also buy a screw. The screw is more effective than the plunger because the screw can be used to drive through blockages. The plunger can cause you problems in that it can cause back pressure, which means that when you're rodding the sewer and you pull the plunger back, it's a 4-inch diameter sewer, but the plunger is about 3 inches or 3.5 inches in diameter to allow it to go down the hole. So you can get stuff down, but there's stuff escaping around the back of it as you're pushing it down. And when you pull it back to give it a good rod, you could get a lot of back pressure and sort of get your own back, if you like, you know. So you need to be careful about that. But it's just some of the stuff I've learned since I got a septic tank. Septic tanks are not a bad thing, right? But in 1926, when this house was built, the septic tanks weren't designed for 4 people and having like showers every day and the washing machine going twice a day and the dishwasher on every day. So they weren't designed for that sort of demand, you know. So that's where the problems come in for us today with old septic tanks. But if they're maintained properly, they're all right. So I'm not going to do the whole video now when I'm doing this, Look at that there, that's going rightly so far. So I'm not going to do the whole video while I'm doing this, so I'll talk about something else. What else will I talk about? We'll talk about horses. I bought a horse. I bought a Russian horse, and it's a great horse. It speaks English, and it's got one hand is actually one hoof is actually a hand where it can lift up its own food if it spills it. And it was educated in Oxford. That's where it got its English accent. And oh no, that was a dream I had last night. That's not true. Right, what else will I talk about? I didn't get a new camera. My wife bought a new camera. If I can remember the name, it's a Sony Alpha 3000, and it's a kind of the stepping stone between point and shoot and DLSR. And it's kind of, if you don't want to spend the money on a DLSR, but you want to look like you've got one, well, this could be the camera or do the job, because it looks like a DLSR, but it's not. It doesn't have a mirror in it, but it does have some sort of software or hardware, I don't know what it is, in it that is really top grade hardware, or whatever it does to the images and that. So this is a really high spec piece of gear in it, which is very, very impressive indeed. And the camera guys that I've been watching on YouTube, the place where we all go for everything now, YouTube has replaced the Encyclopedia Britannica, but what do you call it? But the guys that do the reviews and stuff, they all say it is a compromised camera. The one thing they're saying is that it's got a cheap chassis build. Now the thing is, I've never had a sort of a half decent camera before. I've always had wee point and shoots and Kodak Instamatics and stuff like that. So I don't know anything about camera build really. So I've never compared a £2,000 camera to a £300 camera. So when I look at it, it looks pretty good to me, you know. But for a camera buff, it probably is maybe not the quality they would desire in the camera. But I'm happy enough, you know. But as I say, everything's a compromise, and this thing has come in. I think it's come in. The target price was $400, I think, for the American market, which gives people a chance to get into this type of photography, but not having to spend big bucks, you know. But this is a case you get what you pay for. But the single reason that my wife bought it is that the one feature that she wanted was to be able to take nice photographs, and all the reviews say that the photo quality is outstanding. So she has got what she wants, and so I see her out there playing with it in the garden and stuff, and she's taking photographs of things. And I've lost one of my tripods. I've lost a real good tripod, not the crappy old one, but well, it's not crappy. It's just not as robust. I'm using it now, so it's okay, you know. It's done me for a long time. And actually, I got it for nothing. Michael, my friend, gave me that one, you know. So what do you call it? It served me very well for a long time. But as I say, she's out playing with her camera now, and now that I've mentioned this, and Michael might see this video, he'll be wanting to see the camera when he goes down next time. So that's that. So what else is going on? There's nothing much else, folks. Just with being kind of sick or lazy, I don't know which it was. There's not much has happened this week, but I will do the septic tank sewer next week for you, and it won't be a gratuitous video nasty. There'll be no gratuitous shots in it. That was a lot better than I thought it would be. Don't think we can complain about that. And there's me pigging, and I'll just fill her up and see what happens, because now they've got some under order in among the thing. But as I say, this is just a wee quickie video, because I need potatoes for the tea tonight. Tea tonight is, or dinner tonight, or supper tonight is roast pork joint. I think it's a rolled joint, a rolled what joint? Hip joint, or a rolled thigh joint, or a rolled some sort of joint. I don't know what, but it's really, really lovely. And what do you call it? It hasn't got a whole lot of fat in it, but it's got enough fat to keep the meat nice and tender. So that's that. But as I say, we don't eat a lot of meat here, and it's not for any sort of moral reasons or anything, but we just don't eat a lot of meat because, well, I much prefer fish, to tell you the truth. It's fish meat, I suppose it is. Well, something has to die to go onto my plate, I suppose, you know. But there we are, folks. That's it. The Caras, I don't know what there is there. It's probably about, it's hard to estimate because of the weight of the bucket, you know, £4 maybe, you know. So that'll do us for a few days. Okay then, we'll be back next week with some more stuff, and isn't January flying in fast? Oh my goodness, it'll soon be Christmas. Right, all the best now. Bye bye.